Welcome to Recap King Movie Explained. A young Viking prince is seeking revenge for the death of his father, heir of the Vikings. In search of what was taken from him, a father, a mother, and a kingdom, Prince Amleth, the mistreated son of King Aur von Raven, travels to chilly, wind-swept Iceland. Brutal Amleth then sets out on a violent hunt to find the cruel rival whose life is irrevocably intertwined with his, thanks to the threads of fate, like a battle dog spotting the enemy's smell. Now at 895, where he reunites with his wife, Queen Gudrun, and their son, Prince Amleth. The two take part in a spiritual ceremony under the direction of Aur von jester, Heimer, to get Amleth ready for his eventual ascension. The following morning, the bastard brother of Aur von Fjolnir, kidnaps Gudrun and kills the monarch. Amleth escapes by boat, vowing retribution. Amleth lives as a berserker with a group of Vikings years later. The seeress tells Amleth that he will soon exact revenge on Fjolnir, and that his path is entwined with the Maiden King after they meet in the temple of Svetavid during an attack in Gardariki. Amleth discovers that Fjolnir is in exile in Iceland after being deposed by Harald of Norway. Amleth sneaks onto a ship while pretending to be a slave. He meets Olga, a Slavic woman who professes to be a witch. They are taken to Fjolnir's farm, where he discovers that his mother has wed Fjolnir and given birth to a son they both named Gunnar. Amleth runs into a witch one night who helps her have a spiritual conversation with the deceased Heimer, who it turns out was killed by Fjolnir. Then he informs Amleth about the enchanted sword Drafr that is kept at the gates of hell. After defeating the zombie mound dweller, Amleth enters a mound where she finds the sword. Amleth is chosen to play in a Natalie match against another farm the following day. Gunnar nearly perishes when the game turns violent, but Amleth saves him. As a reward, Amleth kills his uncle in order to exact revenge after years of sorrow and hatred, but he is fatally wounded in the process. He bleeds out into the ground and embraces his final moments. As he makes his way to Valhalla, he is reassured by visions of Olga and his children being safe. The plot of Amethyst's revenge is taken directly from Scandinavian folklore, and the picture is clearly set over 1,000 years ago. Yet the Northman, like all of Robert Egg's films, blends historical reality with fictitious flavor and is a perfect illustration of how well that combination works. Engrossing narrative that rejects the need for modernity. While some have criticized Egg's films as being a little hard to follow, here he presents us with a rich but straightforward story that is historically accurate in every way, including the orchestral score written by Robin Caroline and Sebastian Gainsborough, with pounding and resonant accompaniment with traditional instruments like the langspiel and Swedish bagpipes, as well as vocal chants and throat singing. The music helps transport us to another world. While some have criticized Egg's films as being a bit difficult to follow, here he presents us with a rich but straightforward revenge story. The music helps transport us to another world by providing pounding and resonating accompaniment with traditional instruments like the langspiel and Swedish bagpipes, as well as vocal chants and throat singing. Amleth's motivations are clear: to exact revenge on his father, save his mother, and kill his uncle. In fact, he repeatedly says, "You father, I'll kill you, but I'll save your mother." Or, Fjolnir's grown son gives him overseer responsibilities and lets him pick a woman. Amleth and Olga engage in sexual activity while the party is still going on and make a joint commitment to defeating Fjolnir. Several of Fjolnir's men are killed by Amleth, and Olga adds flyagaric, a potent psychedelic, to their supper. Amleth is able to enter Fjolnir's home because, to the ensuing confusion, he runs into his mother, who tells him that Amleth was conceived through rape and that she was originally sold into slavery. She admits that she wanted Aur von and Amleth killed. She makes an attempt to attract Amleth but is unsuccessful. Amleth kills Thor out of wrath and takes his heart. Gudrun reveals to Fjolnir who Amleth really is and orders him to kill him. Olga is in danger of being killed by Fjolnir, but Amleth offers to exchange her life for Thor's heart. Amleth is unbound by a swarm of crows after receiving a brutal beating. Olga saves Amleth, and the two make their getaway via boat. In a vision, Amleth learns Olga is expecting twins, one of whom will grow up to be the maiden king foretold by the seeress. Despite Olga's warnings, Amleth decides to kill his uncle and jumps overboard out of fear for the safety of his children. Amleth frees the slaves at the farm and murders the majority of Fjolnir's warriors. Amleth is attacked by his mother while she searches for Fjolnir and is killed by Draffer. Amleth is attacked by Gunnar, who repeatedly stabs him in the back before Amleth ends his life. After learning that his wife and son are dead, Fjolnir instructs Amleth to meet him at the gates of Hel, the critter of the volcano Hekla, so they can settle the dispute using Holmgang. Amleth and Fjolnir fight viciously with swords at the volcano. Amleth is fatally wounded, and Fjolnir is beheaded. Amleth sees Olga holding their twin children in the future as he lies dying, and then a Valkyrie appears to carry him through the gates of Valhalla.